I was injured when I was 15 years old. It was summer, the summer of grade 10. At that time, I was studying in school. I was working as a cashier at the local grocery store in a small town. I was just a normal teenage kid. I was injured in an above-ground swimming pool at a friend's house, and it was a diving accident. I was injured at the C5 level, and it's a complete break. I think I knew that something really bad was about to happen even before it happened. I could sort of foresee that I was doing the math and that the way that I was going to be landing was not going to work out well. Paralysis was instant. My friends removed me from the pool, and right away I knew like this was not good. I just imagined the ambulance, already on their way. Spinal cord injury affects everybody differently. It depends on many factors. I, don't have use or feeling. I can't feel hot and cold. I can't move my legs. I can't exercise them so that I can walk again. I can't stretch them more so that I can walk again. It's just not possible. It's just the way that the nerves, the way they're severed dictates what your residual symptoms will be. And for me, all 4 of my limbs are paralyzed, although I do have movement in my biceps, which I'm very grateful for. I'm able to breathe on my own. I'm able to move my biceps and, a little bit of my wrists, which enables me to pick up things and carry things. And I was able to hold my babies. So that was a gift. So it does still affect my hands and other parts of my arms, but I am able to get through my day regardless. I knew I was in for quite a challenge. I felt like I might not have been ready to meet that challenge, but I thought of, my family rushing to the hospital and my friends, and my life and my future. I was hospitalized at the rehab for 5 months. SCI Manitoba came to my hospital bedside almost right away. Although I wasn't, super keen on counseling at the time, it was really nice to know that there was somebody that I might need to connect with in the future. The fact that they had a counselor actually who worked from the ward where I stayed was really beneficial because I would have daily contact with that person and I could build a relationship, and then I could feel safe enough or confident enough to confide or even just to talk to. And it was really nice just to see someone else who has lived with spinal cord injury be successful and helping others. The atmosphere too at the rehab was actually quite enjoyable. I was bunked in a room with 3 other ladies, and there was the boys' room down the hall with 4 other guys, and it was kind of like our little sorority. We kind of just, helped each other out and encouraged each other. And so right away I knew I wasn't alone. I already had peers who were in the exact same situation as me. I was really happy to get back home and go back to school. At first, my family, we planned on building an accessible house, but it wasn't ready when I was discharged. So we rented a house and just made adaptations, put in a ramp, and we made do as long as we needed to. And then we moved into a fully accessible house. So that was really nice and very beneficial for my independence and comfort. And then I returned to school. I didn't want to miss any school, and because my goal was to graduate with the rest of my class. I just really worked really hard when I got back to catch up. So that worked out really well. I was able to graduate. After graduating high school, I right away went to university, and SCI Manitoba had vocational rehab counselors who helped apply for funding to pay for my university, which was very valuable because I wouldn't have been able to go to university, or I would have probably felt a little scared to take on that adventure by myself. I did a Bachelor of Education, and they helped me find a placement, a school that I taught grade 2 in my placement, and I taught for 5 years, and then I really just fell in love with visual arts. As I was doing my Bachelor of Education, I took some elective classes in art, and I wasn't an artist before I was injured. It's something that I discovered later on in life. Art is just such a powerful way to communicate, and I really felt comfortable in that setting, and so I wanted to teach art, and which I did to younger kids. And I wanted to continue my art degree, and SCI Manitoba also supported that by acquiring funding for a second degree in fine art. So I studied fine arts, and I got that bachelor, and now I work in a field where I'm able to meld education and art together, and that is, for me, the perfect combination. I have SCI Manitoba to thank for all of that. Spinal cord injury Manitoba also presented me with peers out in the community who, had been injured for longer periods of time, and who could give me advice or share success stories and difficulties and how they overcame certain challenges. Just meeting those people, visiting their homes, made me feel like anything that I wanted to do was possible. If someone else could do it, it was doable for me too. Now that I am a SCI veteran, I'm 30 years in now. I do peer counseling for new injuries as well, and I really enjoy that part of the community because I feel like I can offer the same to someone else. It's nice for us to be able to connect like that, and I enjoy being able to help. I never say no when SCI Manitoba calls me to connect with a peer, because it's really, really important, and it can make such a difference. My mother says that as soon as I was injured, one of the first questions that I had for the doctors and nurses was whether or not I would be able to have children. I guess for me, that was always the goal as a young girl to grow up and have a family. And everyone, assured me right away that would not be a problem. That was sort of my goal. I sort of kept that in the back of my mind as, well, if I, want to be a mother, I'm going to have to be independent and be successful and keep trying. I think that's what kept me going a lot of the time. I was fearful about, being able to find a partner, but that fear also sort of dissipated because Spinal Cord Injury Manitoba had other members coming to the hospital to visit. We had someone who worked in the hospital specifically with new injuries, and that person was married, and that person had a job and was successful. And I met other families, and I was introduced to other women who were injured, when they were younger, and I was able to see how they were able to thrive. And so I was confident that I would be able to do it as well. It wasn't easy, but I knew that it was possible, so it wasn't like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. Alain and I actually met in grade 10. We were just, classmates at the time. No romantic feelings. But later on, we ended up in the same university, studying the same thing in the same department. So we, studied together and spent time together. And one thing led to another. And I convinced him that it would be a good idea for him to hang out with me more. Our first official date was just at the movies. I was driving at the time, so I picked him up because my van was accessible and his car was not. As soon as I met him again in university, I felt right away that he would be the one that I would marry. I think we dated 4 years before getting engaged, and yeah, then we got married in our early 30s. After that, we started trying right away for babies. It didn't happen right away. Sometimes it takes longer. Pregnancy was hard. I think pregnancy comes with challenges for every woman, but it was just really uncomfortable and difficult. But it was, again, just one of those things that I knew other women in wheelchairs who had babies. They came over, they lent me things that worked for them. They came to help me. They watched me carry the baby or do things and gave me pointers. We had our first son in 2007, and we had another baby in 2010, 3 years later. And I'm so thankful that I got a boy and a girl. Otherwise, I would have been tempted to try again, and it may have killed me. So I went through 2 pregnancies. I survived. It was not easy. As much as my body doesn't do what I want it to, it was able to provide me with 2 beautiful children. So my body doesn't owe me anything anymore, is what I feel. Now that the kids are grown and independent, it's a lot easier. It was difficult as a mother to watch other people take care of my baby, which, comes down to me depending on others. I'm very, very grateful for the help that I received from my mother-in-law, my own mother, my family, my friends in helping me, take care of these tiny little things that were all so dependent to be able to bring them up to an age where now I can pretty much fully handle them, except when they don't get off their iPads. What I appreciate most about SCI's help and programs and resources is the fact that it'll teach you things that you won't necessarily learn in rehab, things that are very practical, things that you would use day to day. I think that's where its value lays. I see my chair as a tool, and it's become part of my body. It's just an extension of me, and I wouldn't be able to function without it, as I wouldn't be able to function without other people. I feel very dependent in trying to be independent. I depend a lot on technology and other people to help me. Spinal cord injury Manitoba helped me learn how to drive and brought in specialists from Toronto to teach me to drive. And just having that independence that Spinal cord injury Manitoba helped foster allowed me to do those kinds of things and to pursue things, because having a vehicle just offers so much freedom. Every milestone that I would go through in my life, SCI Manitoba was there, sort of in the background, making me look good. Anyone faced in a challenging situation, whether it be a spinal cord injury or any other challenge, for me, I think that the one advice I could give to anyone is just, always get up in the morning and just keep on trying. Baby steps will lead you down the path, and be kind to yourself and have expectations for your life and your future, but also accept that there's more than one way to do something. There's more than one path in life, and just because right now you're mourning what you thought you were going to be or how you thought you were going to look, you will get accustomed to a new way of doing things, and you're able to learn, and you're able to find new ways to do what you love, and you might actually discover new things that you love. You know, keep those doors open, and don't be afraid to roll into them.